back to Artist Talk. I'm excited. I'm so excited today. I'm playing Nina Simone. You can hear Nina Simone in the background because I'm talking today with Amber Iman. Now, most people know Amber Iman, but if you don't, you will after this little time together. Amber is like a little sister to me, but she is not. She is a giant among us. She is a beautiful singer, an amazing singer, actually, one of the best I know. She did Shuffle Along and Soul Doctor on Broadway, and she played Nina Simone in Soul Doctor. So that's why I am rocking Miss Nina today in honor of my Amber. She has done some amazing work off Broadway. She was in Rent. She was in the national tour of Hamilton, which I saw her in San Francisco, and she was fabulous. I don't want to say no to this. Yes. And she's just done so many regional shows. I won't even go through all of them. You just need to look her up. But most recently, and what I'm so proud of her for, she wrote her own short film. And it's called Steve, and she has won so many awards at so many film festivals across the country for Steve. And if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It is so good. She did it all herself. And it's why I love her. So I'm going to bring her in so you can meet her, and you'll love her too. Let me try to get her in here. Uh-oh. I always want to take you out of my porch, which isn't what I want, but you can come be on the porch when Corona go away. Until then, oh yes,
how you doing,
everybody? This is Amber Iman, the beautiful, the talented artist, activist, lover of Black people. Yeah. Amber Iman. Girl, you look good.
Listen, I didn't look like this at 2:05. Let me tell the truth.
Listen, let me tell you, me either. You know, at 2:05, I was trying to make little man go down for his nap.
Hello? But we pulled it together and we look fabulous.
Thank you, darling. Now, how you doing? How you feeling? How you in Atlanta still?
Yes, I'm still in Atlanta. I feel like the answer to that question changes by the day, by the hour, and by the minutes.
Really, Amber?
Today feels like a good day.
Today's a good day?
Today's a
How
good day.
How does it feel to be in Atlanta? I mean, do you miss us in New York?
I do miss y'all. I love the grass and the trees and sitting out on my front yard every day and eating my mom's food and not have to go buy groceries. Yeah. And I feel like I won't ever have this time again to spend with my parents as an adult, to just hang out, not just being home for Christmas. It just feels really special. Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful, actually. I'm grateful to be here.
Really?
I am.
Well, you know, we got our COVID all cleaned up, and
I know. And now we get worse.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, I just stay at home. I try to stay away. It's crazy though when I go out and see like the clubs are open and the hookah bars and like it looks like nothing changed.
No.
I go to the grocery store. Some people have masks on, but a lot of people don't. It's really strange to me, Angela, how we just pick and choose what part of the pandemic we're going to play with.
I know. I mean, here, fortunately, pretty much it's mask mandated. So, you know, we don't want Cuomo to come get us.
Okay. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. So that's good. But I haven't felt like, first of all, if you're so happy to be home with your parents, why you be running behind your daddy with that gun?
Because
a water gun.
He did not give me any siblings to play with, so it's his fault. I don't have nobody to play with, so, well, sir, you're going to catch this water gun today.
That's not how you do. I love those posts.
Oh my, he cracks me. I've never seen my father run that fast, if I'm being honest. He runs very quickly to be a man in his 70s. It cracks me up.
Wow.
I said I'm
They
keeping him young. I'm keeping him young and fresh. That's what it's doing.
they are loving you. I know they are loving having you. I
Yeah.
see him putting the 20s under your door.
Yes. Amen.
How often
Amen.
does he do that, Amber?
I don't know if he has a schedule in his mind. I never know when to anticipate it. I never know when it's coming. I don't know if he just thinks about me when he's at the bank. I have no idea, but it always catches me off guard and it always blesses me. The fact that the last time he put him under there was Father's Day. I was like, but it's Father's Day. Why are you giving me?
He
It's
gave you
so
money
sweet.
for Father's Day,
On Father's Day. It's so sweet. It's so sweet.
but you probably blessed him so much.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I always say, now, thank you. Now, give me 20 more. I always say,
Oh my goodness. Please
so
tell him
sweet.
I said hi.
I will. I absolutely will.
How's mama?
She's good. You know, we're all just surviving, doing the best we can.
No.
We didn't think it would be this long. We didn't think we'd be out of work this long. So it's just trying to figure out how to get what we need, how to stay creative, how to stay, functioning. It's just, I think everybody's in survival mode and doing the best that they can. So, yeah. She keeps saying it feels like extended Christmas because I'm just here and I'm never leaving.
Yeah. I know. I love
She
it.
even asked me 2 days ago. She's like, "Should we just get some Christmas trees?" I said, "Mom, we're not getting no Christmas trees.
We're not getting. Oh my goodness. So you guys, Amber moved to New York. We had done Into the Woods in Atlanta. And then Amber moved to New York soon after. And I knew her mom. I promised her mom that I would take care of her baby.
She did.
Her baby didn't need no taking care.
Yes, I did.
Her baby has come here, and Amber, I don't know, you talking about you home and surviving. You have done more work, and I mean servants work. You have really been such a blessing to the community during this time. And I actually don't know when you sleep.
I don't either, Angela. I don't.
That out. But on Monday, a dream came true for you. And you did the Black Women in Theater Appreciation Day on Monday.
Yes.
Wow. And you called me, I don't know, was it 2 years ago?
Years ago. Yep.
And you said, I have this idea.
Yep. And didn't know. I mean, I say that the Black Women in Broadway was born out of jealousy of just watching the Essence Black Women in Hollywood brunch for 13 years. And just, every time the article would come out like the day after, and it's all the pictures and the red carpets, and it made my soul so happy. And I was like, okay, Essence is gonna come to New York and be like, we're doing the Black Women in Broadway brunch. And I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And after a while, I was like, I think it might not happen. And that's okay, because maybe that means it's going to give us the opportunity to build what we need to see in our own community. Yeah. So we started, me, Jocelyn B.O., and Danielle Brooks, 2 of my good girlfriends. I called them, I told them the idea, and they were down. And so we started planning our own brunch. This was maybe a little over a year ago, and we gotten a sponsor, and we're looking at venues. And then we realized that we were moving, it was going to take us 3 months, and we were going to have to do a lot in 3 months. And we said, you know what, let's postpone it to next year, because we don't want to rush. We want this thing to be right. And the funny thing was, God knew all along there wasn't no brunch happening, because Corona was going to happen. So I'm so grateful that we put a pause on it, that we didn't give anybody any money, that we weren't in the middle of, putting down payments on anything. God put a pause on it. So we were in quarantine a month or 2 ago, about 2 months ago, and we were like, well, should we start planning the brunch for 2021? And I realized that we were in a very interesting time, and that there was probably a way that we could use our resources in a different way, something more speaking to what our community needed. And so what I always believe in as a creator is not creating in a vacuum. Like, I want to make sure I'm meeting the need of my community. So I sent out a text to 30 of my girlfriends and said, sis, what do you need? What are you missing? What do you wish you could see more of? And based on their answers, I was like, What if we do like a conference? What if it's a day of panels and workshops where we are learning stuff that we need to further our talents, further our careers, further our money, and also creating a sense of community? Because what I'm seeing a lot now is that in our industry, we're trying to fix a lot of things at one time. We're trying to fix racism. We're trying to fix lack of community. We're trying to fix lack of communication. And at the root of all of it is community. If there was more community on Broadway, half of the things that we are experiencing, we wouldn't be experiencing, because we'd be standing up for each other, standing in the gap for each other. There would be more allies. There would be more relationships.
Right.
So Monday was all about, let's start creating a clear sense of community. Not just we kiki after an audition, not just we go to brunch and have mimosas, but what are we really communicating with each other, collaborating, building together? So Monday was just like step one, but such a beautiful event. I still can't believe we pulled it off.
You pulled it off, and you pulled it off beautifully.
Thank you.
Beautifully. And the way you highlighted the young artists before the event was so
That's what we've been trying to do, is like, I try to listen. And there have been a lot of conversations going on. And sometimes, you know, Angela, you like, I just don't have time to listen to nobody. Sometimes that's in your spirit. It's like there's so much noise that it gets overwhelming. But I try to like humble myself, center myself, and say, if there's a need, I need to listen. And so many young artists don't feel heard, don't feel like they have room at the table. They feel like because they don't have experience or Tony nominations or whatever, that they aren't invited into the room. So we're trying to be intentional about making sure that everyone feels welcome, no matter the age, no matter the way. Like, I want everyone to feel included and like they have a place. So it's hard work, but I think it is what the community needs. And so if I am able, why not?
Where did you get this heart for theater? I mean, because you're more than a performer. I mean, you have a real heart for serving the theater community. Where did you get that from?
I don't know. I think I've always felt like my heart was too large. I always felt like I'm way too compassionate for other people and don't take it myself. But I think when I first moved to New York, I was looking for like a support group. I was like, because everybody looks like they are living on top of the world and I'm not. And I was looking for like a blog or like somebody just being open and vulnerable and honest. And there wasn't a lot of that. And I realized why, you know, people have to keep up appearances, or they feel like they do. And people don't always want to be vulnerable and sharing all of the downfalls and all of the, I'm almost evicted or I'm unemployed and I don't know how I'm going to make it. And so I just wanted to be that. I just wanted to help be what I needed. That's really where it started. And it started small. I would just try to be open on Facebook. Like, y'all, I ain't worked in 6 months. I'm 2 months behind on my rent. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I'm not alone. I know there are other people out here. And I started finding my community because people would reach out to me and be like, no, sis, we're in the same boat. No, sis, come over and eat some cornbread. And I ain't got but $3, but that means we each got $1.50. You know, so I just started seeing women be more open and try to start pouring into each other. And it just kind of blossomed and ballooned. But I want people to understand, like, this was never my intention. I never thought I'd be a producer. I never thought I'd be doing the things I'm doing in the community. It just kind of happened, I guess, because my heart was in the right place, but not what I intended.
Did you do it in college?
I've always been a little loud, I think. I mean, the difference, like, you as a rattler, me as a bison, like, we went to Black schools. So it was a little bit different in college. The need for advocacy wasn't as great because we were all in the same boat together. But if there were moments when people weren't being heard or things weren't going the way that they should be, I tried to be as vocal as I could be. I mean, we all had 21 credits and was doing 17 things and pledging and all of that. But I tried to always speak up if I could.
Wow. That's amazing. Was Monday all you dreamed it would be?
It really was. In a way, you know, whenever you create something, you never really know the impact it's going to have. You don't always know what it's going to do or how it's going to make people feel. You just hope it's successful. But just from the beginning, I thought I want to speak to the whole of a woman and the whole of an artist. And like, you have to have a moment of self-care, like, because we can't be out in the streets fighting. We can't be at the house, planning if we aren't taking care of ourselves. And I knew my friend, my sister from Howard, Palin, I knew she taught Afroflow yoga. I know she does movement and meditation. And I was like, I think we should start the day with movement and meditation. And watching the comments, people were like, I didn't even know I needed this. And I was like, me either. And the fact that we were intentional even about asking for 2 Black female ASL interpreters. So to watch the split screen of 2 Black women in seeming like 2 different universes, but working together to tell the same story, I was like, this is amazing. Like, I didn't even realize what it would do and how it would feel. So it was beyond what I thought. It was such a beautiful time in such a challenging time.
Right.
Yeah.
It was very beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
I mean, first of all, I just love your generation anyway. Your generation and the one after you, I'm just in love. In my mind, I'm one of y'all. But because I just love you, just fearless. You're fearless. You don't think about it. Like, I think our generation will be now let's look at that. And how are we going to, and sometimes you can overthink things and don't get anything done.
Yes.
So you guys just do it. And I love that. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Let me ask you this. How does one stay in touch? First of all, can they see it still? And
so what we're in the process of doing is, it's still the whole live is still on YouTube, but it's 8 hours long. So what we're going to do now is chop it up so that when you go to the site, you'll be able to just watch the finance workshop and just watch the art of making a self-tape. So we're going to give ourselves to the end of this week, and we should have that done for everybody.
I was so impressed that it was free. So that was just an offering unto the
because as artists, we want to give. We know everybody's at home. We know everybody's unemployed. So it doesn't even make sense for us to be like, you got to pay us $20. But at the same time, on our end as producers, I can't ask my friend Elijah to create a flyer and a logo and not pay him. So we took it upon ourselves. Like, we're not going to charge, but we are going to pay our artists and friends for their work, because why shouldn't we? Because everybody's got to eat. But I just believe sometimes it's for the greater good. Like, we're trying to build community, and I'm not trying to charge people to build community. So yeah, it was free because it had to be.
You'll listen, it will come back to you at when you do your luncheon.
Exactly.
You have people that really, you've built the community. So it will come back. It was just an investment. You were sowing seeds. I loved it so much. So Amber, what do you say to the young lady who, spent 4 years at conservatory, spent 4 years in college doing musicals, doing plays, and so excited about moving to New York and starting their journey to Broadway, and whoops, it's closed. There is no theater. What do you say to that young lady or young man? But since we're talking about women, what do you say? How do you keep going? What do you, good question, Ginger. I will ask her that next. What do you say to them?
It's hard, Angela. There's this app called Cameo where you can reach out to your favorite artist, and artists from TV, film, Broadway, whatever, and you can like pay them a small fee, and they'll send like your best girlfriend a happy birthday message or a word of encouragement. And like 2 weeks ago, somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, I have a friend going through a really hard time, and she loves you, and would you mind, encouraging her to keep going and keep going? And the app gives you 6 days to fulfill the request. And Angela, for 6 days I tried. I could not even sit in front of my phone and make a message because I didn't know how to tell myself to keep going. I try to stay as optimistic as possible. I try to keep my head up, but we are living in a time that it's very challenging. It's the pandemic on top of the race war. It's, they just announced Broadway isn't coming back till January, right?
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, it doesn't mean once January hits, we're going back to work. Like, I'm not going back to work in January. It's going to be a while.
Right.
And so I started thinking about money. How am I going to support myself? You know, where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? It's so hard, and I'm not always filled with the right words. I'm not always in the best of moods. Sometimes I'm laying in my bed eating ice cream and watching Netflix.
Yeah.
So I feel like I always want to be honest. I don't want to be like, girl, keep your head up, it's gonna be fine, because that's not always the truth. Yeah. It's gonna be rocky, it's gonna be rough. I think what it takes is surrounding yourself with good people who love on you, who hold you accountable, who let you come over and cry and eat fries or do whatever you need to do. I think it's about knowing what you need and getting that, knowing what your self-care looks like, if it's brunch, if it's mimosas, if it's Netflix, if it's crab legs. I think it's about faith. Whatever your God looks like, whatever you do, whoever you believe, whoever you pray to, having that and be firmly rooted in that. Whatever that is for yourself, you have to have that for yourself. I think it's having hobbies and outlets and things that bring you joy. I think that is super important. Like for me, just being able to sit on my front yard and feeling sun on my face, it's just like something I look forward to every day. It's having small things that that are tangible, not that, 'cause I can't think past Thursday, okay? You know, when I start thinking about 2021, I get heat, I feel hot. Yeah. But it's like taking it one day at a time, surrounding yourself with like a big sister like Angela who look out for you, who will come over and sit on your couch and have girl talk with you. It's just doing those simple things that help you get from Monday to Tuesday. Like that's what I would encourage any young girl who has a Broadway dream or a Hollywood dream. It's just like that stuff will take care of itself. Don't be worried about the auditions and the songs and the monologues. Like if you've been planning and preparing and doing the work, that stuff will handle itself. What we don't do enough is take care of our beings, our instruments, our mental health. Get yourself a therapist. Like it's that stuff that we need to invest more time and energy in.
I agree. Wow, that's great advice. If there's anybody out there listening, any young artist that feels hopeless, if you were listening, that was on point advice. That's awesome. Virginia Woodruff. She wanted to know how she could donate to the Black women in theater. If you had a place to donate, she really was blessed by it, as we all were.
Thank you so much.
Got a lot of comments down there of people that say
we actually are putting up a GoFundMe. We had to actually enlist help because the ASL interpreters were something we really wanted to do, and that was where we needed a lot of help financially. So we're gonna post we all just like pay for it, but we need help because it was a lot of money. So we're gonna post a link on our Black Women on Broadway Instagram page that people can go to and donate if they feel so inclined. But no pressure at all, guys. This is just if it's in your heart to give, we will absolutely accept your donations. Thank you so much.
Wow. Awesome. I want to, and I will put it up as well. So
thank you.
That's great. So let's move on to so many other things you've been doing. I mean, this happened on Monday. You did the Black Advocacy Coalition. You did the Black Lives Matter again. Last month, you did the 3-day.
That was this month, actually. Yeah, it's July now. But yeah, when I think about it, I planned Broadway for Black Lives Matter again and Black Women on Broadway in the same month. I don't have no sense.
You don't. But it's great. I mean, you know, if you got to be quarantined, if you got to be going through a pandemic, why not get some stuff done?
Listen, we can't come out of this the same way we went in. That's all I'm saying.
No, with people like you, we won't.
Hello.
So tell me about Black Advocacy Coalition.
So, Lord, the Broadway Advocacy Coalition has been around for 4 years. Again, did not start out with any intentions of having a 501c3. Again, this came because we were doing Shuffle Along, and the Pulse nightclub shooting happened, and I saw on Broadway World that a busload of Broadway actors were going down to Florida to sing. And I was like, that is so amazing. I'm so proud of my community. And I was like, oh, let me Google all the things they've done for Black Lives Matter. Because, you know, when you do a show, you miss so much. There's so many events you can't go to. Mm-hmm. And so when I Googled, I found nothing. And I was like, oh, nothing has happened. And no intentions of planning an event. But of course, an event happened because there was a need, and I found myself in a place where we had the opportunity. I'm doing a show where Audra McDonald and Brian Stokes Mitchell and Adrienne Warren and everyone who's a leader in the Black Broadway community is either in this building or across the street at Color Purple or down the way in Lion King. It was Hamilton was up. I was like, there's all this Blackness on Broadway. We have to take advantage of this opportunity. So the first Broadway for Black Lives Matter happened in 2016. Mm-hmm. And 1,200 people showed up, and NDRE and Let Us See headlined, and it was such a beautiful event because Broadway loves to sing, and I'm like, but what do we do after we stop singing? So to be able to bring in police officers and policy reformists and community activists so we can start learning what are our rights, how can we be better citizens? You know, we would challenge people who left our events, go home, meet your neighbor, invite them over to dinner. Go to your local bodega, go to your local hardware store, introduce yourself to the owners. Like, this is the only way we build community. Yeah. So we did work for 4 years. In our community, we did a series of events that discussed immigration, sanctuary cities, voting rights. And we've been working a lot away from Broadway because that's where the need was. Mm-hmm. And then I promised about a month ago, I texted my co-founder, Britton, and I was like, what we gonna do? Just not even really. I honestly just wanted Britton to post something from the account so people could know the account was still alive. But I promise you, I went back and looked at the text like 2 days ago, and I was like, I didn't say plan an event. I just said post something. But it was clear that we needed to do something again, and not just make it one day, but let's make it 3 days because we wanted to center us. Our first day was healing only for Black people because that's what we need. We need to come together in a room and not feel alone, to feel like we're supported, to feel heard. Mm-hmm. And then after we take care of ourselves, now we'll go over here and help y'all white people figure y'all stuff out. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the second day was just listening. No white people were allowed to speak, but we'll let you listen. And we let Black people tell their stories of microaggressions and racism and moments when they were shut out or disrespected because a lot of white people feel removed, especially in the Broadway community, because we're all, it's so loved and we're so everyone is, and no, it's not. It's really not. So for them to finally hello? I know. So for people to finally be able to listen and hear, not just from young, old Tony winners, multiple, like people think it's, that's a select group of people who experience that. No, it's everybody. Mm-hmm. To hear Audra McDonald talk about, you know, I had several Tonys and still they looked at me as just another little Black girl. So I think it was an eye-opening and awakening moment for a lot of people in our society and in our industry. And then on the third day, it's like, let's talk about accountability. How are we going to change things moving forward? It's going to take a long time. This is not going to be some quick fix. This is going to take a lot of unlearning and rebuilding and knocking down and building back up. But we can't go back to what we had before. Like that, it's impossible. Like, we're not going to put up with that. So we're just skimming the surface and starting to have conversations with organizations and institutions who have all the power. How can we change things moving forward?
Wow.
Yeah.
And how does one get involved with this 501c3?
You can find us everywhere on Instagram. We have a website, bwayadvocacycoalition.org or bway for BLM. We are everywhere. If you hit us in our DMs, we have, send us your email address. Wherever you find us, there's a way to stay in touch, to get on an email list, and to let you know what we need.
You know, the thing I love following you on social media. I know you're going to give me some laughs or something to think about, or my favorite thing is when you're watching a show, a award show that's on, because you give us the full commentary, honey, and don't let them do something bad to Black people. Did y'all see that? So if you ever get to watch an award show with watching Amber's Insta stories at the same time, you will get your life.
Hey, Adrian Warren. Adrian Warren played the beat.
Adrian, hi.
Hi, Adrian. I love that I'm waving like.
Congratulations, Adrian. Oh my goodness, such a darling. So happy for her.
Yes.
But if you will get your life following Iman on Insta story.
My apologies in advance. It's gonna be foolishness. It's gonna be foolish. I'm sorry.
Full out. But one of the things I love is that when she reads something, let's say if someone says a list of all theater, women in theater, and if that list doesn't have somebody Black on it, she will write them, she will tag Broadway World or whatever the source is and find out. So y'all didn't know no Black people? she gets in it.
One of my girlfriends, Vasti Mompoint, who I love dearly, she said in a way that made me listen and didn't feel like she was accusing, but she was saying sometimes as Black people, if we don't speak up, we are sometimes complicit because unfortunately, white people won't know no better unless we tell them. So if we keep seeing this stuff, they don't know it's wrong. So they're going to keep doing it until we say, hey, you can't keep doing this. Yeah. We know you don't have any Black friends. So here's what we're going to, because it also hurts me. I remember, one of the times that I spoke out and it got a lot of attention was they did a profile on all the women who had played Dolly in Hello, Dolly. And it just didn't make sense to have a picture of 5 white women because Pearl Bailey won a whole special Tony Award for playing Hello. Like, she didn't just, she wasn't the 12th woman to do it. She just, did it for 3 months. Like, she was so spectacular that they created a whole Tony for her. So to not include her, like, it just did not make sense in my brain. And as a Black woman who grew up loving Pearl Bailey, loving all these women whose shoulders I stand on, it feels sacrilegious for me to just allow you to ignore her. Like, I can't just read the article and be like, oh, that's messed up. No, you can't do this. Yeah. So it's literally like something inside of me that won't let it just happen. Like, I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
And we should all do it. When we all do it, then the person that does it won't be considered the diva or difficult. Because
and they hurt us, when we speak out together in numbers, like, they realize they have to check themselves and they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how can we not keep making this mistake over and over again, because that's what it's about. Yeah. Have you
felt though like, oh goodness, they're not gonna never hire me again on Broadway if I don't shut up?
You know what, Angela? To be honest, there have been moments when I have spoken up and things were taken from me or kept from me, and I was aware. And what I realized was, if someone does not want to hire me because I told the truth, that's probably somebody who's not worth me wanting to work with. Like, it's different if I was just out here in the streets just being reckless and just running my mouth. That would be one thing. But if I'm literally calling your attention to something that is wrong, or
happy to get this information. You should be happy. You should want to improve on that.
You should want to be more exclusive, inclusive. So if I'm speaking out against something that is wrong and it's something that you need to correct, and you don't want to work with me for that, that's okay. Because I always believe that what is for me will not pass me. And if it's meant to be mine, it's mine. Mm-hmm. So do what you got to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
God has given you a gift, my friend.
Thank you, sis.
And then you did this reading. Y'all, I'm not making this up. She produced a conference. She helped produce a 3-day forum. And somewhere in there, she did a virtual reading.
Let me tell you something. This is what cracks me up about this. So I did a show called Three Sisters years ago, 2011. This was back when we were doing Into the Woods together, and you came and you saw Three Sisters.
Yes.
And so Tom Jones, who wrote it, and my good friend, your good friend, Crystal Fox, they called me in March on a Wednesday, and they said, we want to record this on Sunday. And I said, I love y'all, but y'all don't know how the internet works. I said, y'all, we cannot sing together on the internet virtually. And they were like, what do you mean? So our composer was on the call, and I was like, William, just play Happy Birthday, and me and Roz are going to try to sing together. And they were like, okay. And when we and Roz started singing, and it didn't line up, and it didn't sing, just watching their eyes go, I was like, yeah, y'all, we can't do a musical in 4 days. If y'all want to do this, we're going to have to pre-record, like, all the music. So it took 2 months. It was a labor of absolute love, but it brought me so much joy because it gave us something to do. It gave us.
You didn't need anything to do.
First of all, I mean, back in March I did, but when we were still doing it in May and June, I was like, y'all, we got to finish this. This is too much.
Right.
But just that time, getting to kiki and spend time with each other and just work on such beautiful music and just hanging out, it brought me joy. For 3 months, it brought me joy.
Is it still up, Amber?
I think the link should still be up. I'm going to check in with Crystal Fox, but it should still be up.
Okay. It's really good. I saw it virtually too.
Yes.
And I saw it. That is when, for everybody who's watching, that was the first time I saw Amber Iman in all her glory. So we were doing Into the Woods, and I'm the New York. Was I the only New York actor?
It was like you were the only black one, but they had about a couple more from white actors from New York.
Okay. Yes, that's right. So, but I'm doing the show with Amber, and Atlanta's her town, and she's a young girl, out of Howard recently. And, I think she's gorgeous and so kind. And she's the type of person in a rehearsal process who sits in the corner and doesn't say much. You got to be careful with those.
True.
The ones that sit in the corner and don't say much. Yeah. So she was always in the corner with her laptop and her headphones in. Now, she was in the ensemble. She had a very small, you were one of the stepsisters.
Yep.
Very small. Coco, what's up, girl? Very small part. But I'm thinking, what a great job for this young college graduate. HBCU go. So she asked me, she said, would you like to come see
I'm playing a musical.
I said, oh, you're doing a show while you're rehearsing this show? All right. So I said, of course I want to come. So I went to see this show. First of all, I got to see my good friend Crystal Fox, who was also in it. And that was great. Amber's playing the lead. My jaw dropped. So you never know who's Don't hate on who's in your ensemble or who's understudying you or who's. I was like, why did they bring me here to play the witch? She here. She's right there. What? That's her right there. Oh I was blown away.
Thank you.
And then I went on a mission, didn't I? I was like, okay, now when you move to New York, first thing we got to do.
She said, okay, so you gonna be in BIV? I know you don't know what that is. It's choir. You in it. Okay, next, I'm gonna meet you with the agent. You got an agent. Next, what you need? I was like, who is this woman? I love her. I love this woman. I love her.
I was just so blown away. Yes. And my agent flew to Atlanta to see the production. That was nice, right?
Yes.
But flew to Atlanta to see the production. I was like, okay, I'm glad you like me, but you got to meet this girl.
I'm sitting up at dinner with y'all like, hey, how y'all doing?
We went to dinner. I said, Amber, you coming?
I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm coming to, but I'm coming. So
I was it was my mission. After I saw you on that, doing that, oh.
It blessed me. You blessed my life, Angela. I promise you, you did. You just set me up. As soon as I got to New York, I had an agent and I was in a choir, and I hadn't even done nothing. I was in a whole choir. I remember the first day, because you told me it was called Broadway Inspirational Voice. So I was like, okay, that sounds cute. The first day I sat down, I said, is that Norm Lewis? Who the hell is this lady? I hadn't been off Broadway. I hadn't been off Broadway. And here I am in this fancy people's choir. I just was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Oh, but they should have been honored to be in your presence.
Thank you so much, Angela.
Later.
Oh my goodness.
They found out later who you were.
I still crack up thinking about that.
Oh, I crack up thinking about it too, because I crack up at how you were in the corner with that computer.
watching Real Housewives. That's the funny thing.
With her headphones on, just like,
because I was bored, so I would sit and watch Housewives. I don't have good sense, y'all. I promise you.
But I understand she was doing this major role at night, and we would just filler during the day. But no, she never needed to see an ensemble. Not that I love, being I've had the most fun I've had on stage being in the ensemble. Yes. So nothing wrong with that at all. I love it. But I'm just saying she was incognito in the corner.
I adore you.
So then we got the reading of Three Sisters. We got a Black Lives Matter Again forum. We got Black Women in Theater. Mm-hmm. Then she was on the Antonios.
Oh my God, that was so precious. Oh my goodness. Andrew Shade of Broadway Black. What a blessing. What a gift he is. And he has been talking about a Black award show for years. Literally for years. And it's never like forgotten. It's just on the list of 100 things to do. Because also planning a brand new award show, like, that's going to take so much work and time and energy and money. Like, come on. So when he reached out, I feel like it was a couple months ago, we were in quarantine. He was like, it's time for the Antonios. I was like, okay. And to watch him assemble a team and I feel like I recorded my vocal. It had to be 2 months ago. And I didn't know who else I was singing with. They sent me sing this 16 bars. And I said, okay, I'm going to sing these 16 bars. So when we all sat down to watch it, that opening number alone took my breath away. I was like, what have y'all been doing? When did y'all have time to do this? Yeah. It was the most beautiful just display of Blackness, of Black people just coming together to create just beauty and magic. Mm-hmm. My heart was so full. So full. Wow. I'm so proud of them. So proud.
Yeah, I was too. I was proud of everybody, including you. Of course, I wasn't surprised that you were all up in it.
Thank you.
I wasn't surprised at all.
Thank you.
There was all that going on. What keeps you up at night, Amber? What's I know you're the type of person that will try to fix everything that you can. But what keeps you up at night? What worries you?
That everything that we are trying to do won't actually happen. That Broadway will reopen. And somebody used a funny term. It's funny to me. They said, we don't want this to be a Weight Watchers situation where it's like, we did it for 3 months and then we fell off and then it just didn't happen anymore. But that is literally what I'm afraid of. It's like Broadway will reopen, people will go back to work and they'll forget because they have money again and lives again and can leave their homes again. I'm afraid that the things that we're asking for, like our demands won't be met or they can't be met because of unions or just people who are unwilling to change. Like, to get to the root of this is going to have to be a breaking down of infrastructures. Like, people have to be fired and let go to make room for new people to come in. People are going to have to sacrifice. And a lot of people aren't there yet. They still want to maintain control and power. And for things to really, really change, it's going to take a lot of work. And I just don't, every time we do an event, Broadway Advocacy Coalition, it's really hot. And then it dies off. And then, there's no more opportunities for photos or to stand on a red carpet. Like, that's when the most people want to come out, when it's something that benefits them. But the hard work it takes to rebuild and do community outreach and community work, like, I just hope we don't lose sight of the bigger. This is a big picture, broad, like, this is going to take time and it's going to take a lot of work. And I just get worried that we're not going to stay the course. So I'm trying to stay encouraged, and trying to do as many things now while we have this time as possible. So I go to sleep with a to-do list. I wake up with a to-do list. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I just start going through the to-do list to see all the things. Like, okay, let me add things to the to-do list. I'm just always working and trying to sleep, but I can't because things just need to change and things need to be better. So trying to find balance, trying to get some sleep is, sometimes I fail, sometimes I succeed, but just wanting things to be different for me, for the people who come after me, for the people who have been so hurt. Like, so many people need to feel seen, heard, and affirmed because they have been ignored for so long. And doing my best to make space for everyone, like, just so much.
Speaking of that, no, it's not so much. I love your heart. You did a post recently. I'm just going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about it if you want, but I thought it was very, very pointed, very Amber. It says, I want to start a digital Broadway platform called The Irrelevance, featuring content about artists who have not been on Broadway in 2 years or more or ever. That's the stuff I want to see. How are you surviving, maintaining, sustaining, creating, thriving without a production contract? Then maybe we could see more than the same 3 people on our computer screen all day, every day.
I mean, it's the truth. I think I got a little backlash from that post because of perception. People think because you've been on Broadway, because you've done this or done that, or you're associated with certain people, they don't understand how you could feel that way. And it's like, I was in a meeting a couple weeks ago when somebody said my point of view was irrelevant because I haven't been on Broadway in 4 years. That's what they said to me. Despite all the other work I've done in other areas, because I haven't been on Broadway, I don't really matter. And it just always blows my mind that that's how we tell somebody what they're worthy of. Is like, but are you on Broadway right now? And It's like, but shows close and people go from being on Broadway to being off. Like, that's the process, that's the journey. And I don't think anyone's voice should be silenced or hushed just because they don't have a production contract currently. Like, we will all be unemployed and then unemployed at some point. Like, that's how it goes. And to me, where you really learn and really like get your like sense of self is the valleys, the in-between moments. Like, that's what I want to hear about. When people like Billy Porter did not work for 10 years, how did you sustain? Like, that's what I want to hear about.
Yeah.
Because that's where I draw inspiration. That's where I feel most encouraged. That's where I get inspiration from. It's like, how did you figure out how to maintain, how to sustain, how to use your voice in a different way? I feel like most of the things I've created have come out of moments of drought, of moments of lack. That's when you really figure out what you're made of. And so that's what I'm most interested in. And I feel like it's so unfortunate to me because I feel like the world misses out on hearing and seeing so many things because people don't have a platform. Yeah. Like, there's so many people creating businesses and doing outreach and great things that should be on the cover of Playbill and Broadway World because that's what people need to see.
Yeah.
So it's just another thing that I just am like, Lord, help me figure out a way to make that happen because it needs to happen.
Yeah, you're so right. And that's why what you did on Monday was so impactful, because when you talk about community, which you talk about a lot, you say that word a lot, it's very difficult sometimes to feel community when you're not in a show. Because we link our community and our friends and our value and our relevance to being in a show. Yes. And so for you to do something like that on Monday, just for all theater women, it was just really a great way for everybody to feel like we say this a lot, but we are in this together.
Absolutely. That's what building the Black Women on Broadway page is. It's there was this video this little 15-year-old girl sent in, and she was talking about how people say, my voice is white and I don't sound like this or that, but I'm learning to fall in love with myself. And I listened to it and I was like, sis, you are a man. Stop the presses. I had 10 other posts I was supposed to post that day. I was like, that'll wait. Y'all need to hear this 15-year-old girl. Like, she has a gift. It doesn't matter what award she has or doesn't or where she's been. Like, it's about highlighting people who are just working hard, people who have gifts, that instruments that need to be shared. Like, I don't care about your resume. It's like, who are you? What are you doing? What are you saying? That's what matters to me.
Yeah. You guys, when we're done, definitely follow the Black Women on Broadway
Instagram page.
She posts, they post so many women that are great things in theater, and especially the young women who send in themselves performing. It's
cute.
And you get to encourage them.
Yes, that's what it's about. Like, if they ever send in, like, I'm singing Effie from Dreamgirls, and I try to tag every woman who I know has played Effie on Dreamgirls on Broadway or somewhere. Like, look at this girl, love on her, help encourage her, because that's what we need.
Yeah.
It really is. It's how we create community.
I love it. So before you get out of here, we have to talk about Steve. We have to. So Amber felt like, she wasn't getting seen fast enough for film and television.
Nope.
They weren't seeing her enough. So instead of, taking a film acting class or I don't know, investing in camera equipment for her self-tapes. No, Amber decided to produce her own short film. It's called Steve, and it has won so many awards. First of all, let's tell people how they can see it.
So so the thing is, unfortunately, because certain film festivals have certain rules, like if you want to enter this film festival, your film cannot be public. So what I've been trying to do is, if ever the film festival is in a specific city, like when it's in New York, I'm like, everybody show up for the film festival so you can see it publicly. Yeah. But every now and then, if you follow my Instagram, I'll be like, today I'll give out the free the Vimeo link and the password so y'all can watch Steve. So I've been doing that every now and then because I can't post it publicly, but it is 17 minutes of foolishness, and I know sometimes people need a good laugh. So every now and then I will put it out there so that people can watch it.
It is so good. It is.
Hi, Raymond. Raymond is in Steve. He plays a handsome hunk. He plays a.
Who is this? That's the person who plays.
That's Raymond who said, "Come on, Steve." That's Hey, Raymond.
How are you, Mr. Raymond?
I mean, you need to watch Steve just to see Raymond. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying.
Raymond is something.
I cannot breathe right
now. So good. I'm telling you, if Amber Iman doesn't encourage you to do anything else, it should be, if you have a dream, if something is percolating in your belly, you should get it out.
You can.
This woman produced this film, and it has won awards.
It's the first thing I've ever written. Like, so to win Best Short or Best Comedy, Best Actress, it was just like, oh, okay, I might actually kind of be knowing what I'm doing, kind of, sort of, maybe. Like, it's just.
Yeah. And she stars in it.
Yeah.
She wrote it.
Yeah.
Did you direct it?
I co-directed it because I knew that I didn't have enough knowledge of film and like shots and, getting coverage. And so I was like, I don't trust myself to shoot it myself, direct it myself. But there were certain things that I knew I wanted it done a certain way. So I was learning on the job. Yeah. Yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to let you out of here. Our time is up. I guess I want to just talk to you a little bit about, we have many things in common. Mm-hmm. But one thing that we have in common, aside from our HBCU background.
And our beat faces and our cuteness. Mm-hmm. Like we look 12. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Is French fries.
Oh, hallelujah.
My favorite food. You tell me we're going for French fries.
Angela, I feel like I didn't know this. And when I read the questions last night, and I said, how did I not know this?
Girl, French fries. Iman has it too. It's my favorite. I don't let myself do it. But you know, my homemade French fries are the best.
Well, then next time I'm in Jersey, I'm like, okay. So I know next time. Okay, keep going.
So
Okay.
I have a few questions about French fries. I'm just gonna spit them out. You just tell me. Okay. So soft or extra crispy?
Ooh, I needed. Ooh, okay. First of all, I just have to stop you right there because I have to admit that I'm a little bit racist and prejudiced when it comes to my fries. I like light skin fries. Okay. First of all, do not send me no well done fries.
Colorism going on with.
I am a colorist and I am not mad about it. If you say your fries take 7 minutes, I need you to take them out at 4 minutes 45 seconds. Okay. I need them a little underdone. I want it just like a little crunch on the outside, but then that thing just break in the middle and it's just soft potato-ness. Oh my Lord. Oh, I just got excited.
Okay, well, you know, Scott likes his hard. So
of course he does, Scott.
I would have to fry 2 batches for y'all. Okay, all right. Next question, crinkly or smooth?
Ooh. You know, I feel like the crinkle just gives you more meat. And I love just when I have just something about the ridges. It just speaks to my soul, Angela. I don't know what it means. But
I know.
A Nathan's extra large crinkle cut. Shata. Hallelujah.
Not shata. Yes, shata. Okay. Thick or thin?
Thick.
So McDonald's fries won't do for you.
I mean, in a pinch, but it's like if I have in the perfect world, I want like a steak fry or like the curly fry. Just anything that can give me the most potato. That's what I'm here for.
That's what you're here for. Okay. Okay. Seasoned or just salt?
Oh, because see, sometimes you go to Five Guys and they put the little Cajun on, or sometimes they'll give you a little truffle butter with a little garlic and a Parmesan. Oh, I just got excited. Oh, God, I just literally got warm. I got to get my fan, Angela. You made me, I got hot.
Okay, last one. Ketchup or not?
Ooh, you know what? I feel like the Lord told me, you know, you just always want to have it available to you. I like the option. Like, I might eat 17 fries, but the 18th one might speak to the ketchup in the bowl. So I need the ketchup at my disposal so that I can choose, do I want it or do I not? Because the worst thing is to want ketchup and you don't have it. Oh, my God, that's terrible. You got to have your ketchup, just in case. I like options, Angela.
So you keep it on the side for a little dunking.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah. Because if you drown them in, no. Like if you give me the fries and you do the thing, no. I want it on the side. I need to regulate the ketchup to fry ratio. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And are waffle fries a part of your life?
Hallelujah. Yes, they are.
Glory.
Yes.
I just love you so much.
I love you too.
Can I just say that, you know, from a big sister.
Yes.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
You inspire me.
Oh, thank you.
You inspire me, but not just me, so many other people.
Thank you.
So if you ever get tired, if you ever feel like, oh, it's not meaning anything, please know that the work you're doing means so much. Not to so many people. You are just, you really are in ministry.
I received that.
You are in ministry. You're serving your community in such a positive, beautiful way. If I can ever be there for you, you know, you already know.
I know who I can call.
You are.
I got you, girl. She like UPS. She like the what is this? The post office. Rain, hail, sleet, or snow. I know.
You already know. But if you ever, whatever you need, I'm like, wait a minute. I was there when she moved here. Yeah. He just went boom.
Yeah.
Just took off.
Yes.
And I just am so thrilled. So yeah, you're the real deal.
Thank you, Angela.
You're the real deal. Wait for it, because you're gonna reap all that you are sowing.
I received that.
Girl, I'm gonna be right there like enjoy Atlanta. Say
Thank
hello
you so much. I will, and as soon as I get back, I'm gonna be like, "What y'all doing? You gonna make some fries? Are you
Make some fries. And say hey to my mom and my daddy.
You know I will.
All right, I love you.
Thank you for this. I love you so much.
You everything, girl. Thank you. Follow her, Amber Iman.
Thank you. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, follow her everywhere, and then follow the Black Women on Broadway and follow
Broadway Advocacy Coalition. Yep.
Come on, get the following.
I'll put all the links everywhere.
Love you, Mama.
Love you too.
I'll see you later.
Bye.